Hey everybody, happy Valentine's Day. I'm a few minutes early. It's Susie Q96. Normally, this would be the Lodo coin collecting show, but I haven't been able to do those for a while. Uh, what this is instead is my pre surgery uh, kind of a meet and greet. I don't know what the heck it is. It is what it is. I am not coming on camera just because I look really, really bad, and I'm not feeling really, really good either. So we're just gonna do it like this. I'm on my phone actually, so we'll just hang out and see who shows up. Once 6 o'clock rolls around, I'll start letting everybody know what's happening. All right, this minute I'm actually gonna start laying out mass quantities of medications that I have to take. But hello, everything treasure. Oh, Ken! Hi, Ken Everham. To the people that are in here that don't know who Ken Everham is, you may remember back in, I think, November when I set up a little thing to have some musicians come in and play at the place where I live. Ken is one of those musicians. The other was his wife, Gretchen, and we had a grand time. Uh, so say hi to my musician friend Ken. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Sandy. Glad to see everybody showing up. Give me a little support here. Um, like I said, normally this would be my um, coin collecting show, but tonight we're just going to hang out for a little bit and hopefully get me in the proper frame of mind to go in to get my surgery done tomorrow. It's a pretty big drive. I'm not doing the driving. I have a gentleman who's going to drive me there. And I also have my niece who will be driving 3.5 hours to come and be with me during my surgery. So, because they said you have to have somebody there. So she's going to take care of those duties for me. I hope y'all can hear me okay. Like I said, I'm on my phone, and you probably hear my medicines rattling around a little bit. I don't have as many at night as I do in the morning, but I want to get them done. So when I finish this stream, I'm going to bed. I got to get up early to make the trip across the state of Virginia. Ugh. Hang on just 1 second, folks. The last thing I want to do is get a pill stuck in my throat. That would be nasty. There we go. Got M3, the Wonder Cat, over here. He's probably going to attack me. Yeah, I saw that, Ken. That scar you showed the picture of looked pretty gruesome. I don't think I want to do that one, but I'm not real. I'm funny about people touching my eyes and stuff, so this eye surgery thing's kind of weird for me. But I have gone 7 months now, hardly being able to see at all. So I'm excited to go and get this done. Um, for those who don't know exactly what's going on with this surgery thing, um, back in June, I had a pulmonary embolism and almost left planet Earth. Hey, John Jacobs. And in the course of having that little deal, when I fell on my face and jammed my glasses into my eye. Well, that caused what they call a fast growing traumatic injury cataract to form on my right eye. And then on top of that, I developed thyroid eye disease, which is like Graves. So the same eye has two problems, making it virtually impossible to see anything. Um, which is why I've been missing doing so many of my shows. Hey, Mikey. Oh, excuse me. So, anyway, after many months of fighting insurance companies who didn't want to pay because they considered it to be that I had already used up my eye exams, but we had to make them understand this was not a routine thing. This is an injury induced thing. So they dragged their feet for a little while, but finally, we're making some progress, and they're going to do the right eye tomorrow, which is the one that I really messed up. The other one has a small regular cataract, which will be taken care of later. But right now, we're just trying to make it where little Susie can see, because this has caused me to not be able to do my shows. It caused me not to be able to make jewelry or drive my car or go out and metal detect. Oh, thank you, John. I'll get with Larry. I miss not being over on his stream. I like Larry. He helped me lose a bunch of weight. He's a good boy. Uh, Lily giving your house guest a fit. Well, maybe he'll warm up to him, or maybe she'll warm up to him. Maybe Lily just doesn't like him. Maybe he smells funny to Lily. Who knows? Cats are weird. Just ask me. I got one of the strangest ones in the world, Mr. Bananarama over here. Um. Anyway, I got some more of the Christmas packages out. When it was all said and done, I gave away in the 12 days of Christmas and the Epiphany giveaways over 100 prizes. So when I told everybody it was going to take a while to get all the stuff mailed out, I was not kidding. Uh, a second batch went out this morning that I think had about 10 or 15 more packages in it. And I have, I think, one, two, three, four, five, maybe 10 to 15 more to go. I was going to try and get them all out before I left. But I, I mean, before I left for my surgery, but I just, I got behind on all the paperwork and all of the pre-surgery stuff, and so I didn't get them done, but I'm working on them. I'm not doing them in any particular order, just however I pull them out of the box. So anyway, there's just a bunch of them still coming. I will tell you that one of my friends down in Florida that I have known for decades uh, sent me some money so that I can finish sending them out, because I ran out of postage. I've gone way over my budget. So I'm going to have to rethink how I do that promotion next year. But We it's something I do, so I'm not going to stop doing it. I'm just going to have to rein myself in a little bit on how many prizes I give away and that kind of stuff. Because, yeah, I went a little overboard this year, but it helped me through a lot of stuff. So that's good. It's a good thing. So, what else can I talk about here? After the surgery, they said that it doesn't take very long for the eye to heal up. So I should be able to see in a couple weeks for sure. So we'll figure it out from there how I'm going to continue my shows. I have probably a year's worth of video clips from metal detecting that never got posted, never got made into videos and posted. So I'm going to try to do some of those just because I don't want to waste those hunts. Some of them are even from Georgia, but there's several from Virginia that I want to get out there. And of course, hopefully in the next month or so, our weather will let up and we'll have no more snow, and I will be able to get out and do some more detecting and see if I can find some old coins. I didn't really find any old stuff down in Georgia, but I was not really in the right part of Georgia for that. But we will see what I can turn up here. And then once I'm still on the housing waiting list to get up to Michigan. I am going to try to make that trip to Florida down to see my brother before I go get moved back up to Michigan. And some of you will remember that money was donated for that trip by Muscle Shell. Uh, but because of COVID and because of my sickness, I didn't get to make that trip. So I want to go see my brother. And by then, hi, Mary. By then, hopefully, I will have worked my way back up to the top of the housing list. And this time, it's going to cost me more to move than it has in the past, because in the past, I have rented a truck and loaded the truck and driven the truck. And I don't think I'm going to be doing that this time. I think I'm going to be hiring a moving company or a friend to do so, uh, because I just don't think I can do it. Although I am getting rid of a lot of stuff, so maybe I can do it. I don't know. We will see how that works. Uh, so, Mikey, are you still over by Lake County, or I know you're not in Texas right now, but your mom is, right? Um, anyway, uh, for everybody that came in that missed the beginning, happy Valentine's Day. Um, I had a phone call from one of my favorite musicians from back in the 60s. Though some of you know, I work with this band called Question Mark and the Mysterians, uh, who had a big hit record back in 1966 with a song called 96 Tears. And Anyway, my friend Q called me today for Valentine's Day. He's funny. He called me the other day and was singing "If You Knew Susie Like I Knew." He's so funny. But anyway, so I got my Valentine's chat with Q today, and then one of my friends sent me some money so I can finish distributing all the Christmas goodies that I gave away on the channel. So, other than that, it was today was just a whole lot of preparing for tomorrow's surgery. Uh, and let me see, I've got a half a roll of quarters. They're laundry quarters. They're not car wash quarters. And I don't really have the microscope set up, but I'm going to look at these real quick anyway, see if there's anything interesting in here. There's a 1998 Washington, nothing exciting there. 1994 Washington, nothing exciting there. What we got here? We got a Salt River Bay 2020 National Park, Philadelphia Mint. Ooh, I got this really nasty looking Oregon State quarter that looks like somebody ran over it on the Oregon Trail. John Jacobs, that's good. Yeah, it is. Hey, Mud SWAT. Hi, Cynthia. Thank y'all for coming. I need all the support I can get. I don't like people messing with my eyes. And so it's going to be a real experience tomorrow. Let me see. I got a North Carolina State quarter. Don't see anything exciting on there. I'm mostly just making sure there's no silver in this roll. 1987 D Standard Run OD Mill. Ooh, there's a 2021 P. Patriotic looking dudes on the back. That one's shiny. This is my laundry money. uh, there's a guy that lives up the road from me about 10 miles that I went to high school with in Florida back in the late 60s. And as it turns out, he has had the surgery done by the same surgeon that I am using, and he told me that the guy's great. Dawn, the metal detective, also, although she is from living in Texas, is from Virginia, and she also had the same surgeon that I'm having and told me the same thing. So I'm hearing a lot of really good stuff about this guy. Otherwise, I'd probably be hiding under my bed by now. There's a 96 Washington and oh, cool. I got a Northern Mariana Islands territorial quarter out of this roll. Yay. I can always use those in the books. Those are hard to find. Yay, I got a goodie out of there. Cool beans. See what else I got. 1995. I just wanted to look at these real quick so I can take some of them with me in case I need to hit a vending machine after the surgery. 1996. And there's a Wisconsin 2004. There's another 2021. There's a Kansas 2005. Oops. Larry Sherry Powell. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? I miss coming over to your stream, but once they fix my eyeballs tomorrow, I'll be back. Uh, Apostle Island. Okay, let me look at this one. This is the San Antonio missions, but it does not have the CUD on it. And there's where I am, the Blue Ridge Parkway. And there's a 1995 Washington. And a 2007 Utah. And last but not least is a really grubby Idaho. But I did get that Mariana Islands one out of a half a roll, so that's pretty cool. And the rest of these are just run of the mills. All right, putting them good vibes in here. I need them. Hey, Sandy, how are you? Thank you. All right, let me get rid of those. That was just left over from my laundry money. So, anyway, I'm not going to stay in here super duper long because I still have a couple of things I have to attend to. For those who came in late, I did send another batch out today of prizes and from the Christmas thing. I'm going to try to finish some of those up tonight. There is a point at which I am not going to be allowed to eat anymore. So I have got my alarm set where I can get up and eat something before my time to eat is expired. And that is because if I don't, I will be not well when it gets time to do the surgery. And I've been really laying low the last 3 or 4 days, making sure I don't fall or get sick or do anything that's going to interrupt this deal tomorrow. Because I have waited and waited and waited. Anyone know if a 67 quarter has any errors or anything to look for? Hey, Jack Gallman, how are you? I'm trying to get myself off the sharp stick tomorrow. Yeah, it's swollen up as my eye is. I hope the thing doesn't pop and go flying across the room or something. It's bad. That's why I won't go on the camera. Yeah, I was just getting ready to say I think there's a DDO on the 67, but I didn't know for sure about the DDR. Thank you, Shelley, for jumping in there. I appreciate that. Shelley, I sent yours out, but I have not sent Pat's out yet. Or maybe I sent Pat's out this morning. I'm not sure. I don't know. But the stuff is getting there slowly. Uh, so anyway, um, I wanted to throw something else out here. I did ask for people to come and say prayers for me, but I have a very special friend that I have known since I was a teenager down in Florida. He is a professional musician. Back in the 80s, he was in a band called Firefall. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Firefall, but they had several hits back in the 80s. And then later on, he became a member of the Marshall Tucker Band. His name is Dave Muse, Muse. And I have known Dave Muse forever. The last time I saw him was in December of 2019, um, down in Clearwater. They did a Firefall reunion concert opening for the Outlaws, who I also grew up with. And after the show, we were in the lobby, and Dave and Rick Roberts from Firefall grabbed the merchandise lady for the Outlaws and insisted on having our photograph taken. And I cherish that photo. We all looked like we were doing great. And now, 2 years later, uh, Rick, who actually was in the worst health of the three of us, is now in the best health of the three of us. And Dave and I are pretty much unrecognizable. Dave is suffering from stomach cancer. And I found that picture today where we all looked really, really good. And anyway, Dave is struggling as much as I am, only with a different disease. I did the stomach cancer thing back in 2010. Um, so, anyway, musicians, people always think musicians have a pile of money, but one of the things musicians mostly do not have is health insurance. So there is a GoFundMe for Dave Muse, and I will do my best to get that posted when I get back from the hospital. Um, I have, even though it's difficult for me to get to my appointments, I do have health insurance. And Dave is struggling because he does not have the kind of insurance it takes when you have cancer. So I'm going to throw that out there. John Jacobs, what year did you see the Outlaws? Was it recent or a long time ago? Because the Outlaws are still around, but the original guys are pretty much all deceased now. Henry Paul is keeping it going and keeping the music out there, but pretty much everybody else is gone. Uh, I actually have on my bedroom wall a gold record that was presented to me by the band. I used to see them uh, at a place called the Orlando Youth Center when I was a junior high and high school, and we would pay 50 cents to go in and see the Outlaws and some of the other local bands. Uh, Dave Muse used to be in a band with a friend of mine named John Rodell, who they had a band called JR and the Neutrons back in those days. So, I mean, that goes way back. That was like 1967. And June 20th, 1981. Okay. So there were still some original members in there uh, at that time. I'm sure Huey Thomason was in there. I think Billy Jones was still part of the band in 81. My wonderful friend over in Nashville, Monty Yoho, their drummer. There's another one y'all can put on your prayer list. Monty Yoho, the drummer for the Outlaws, he's been struggling with some terrible, terrible back pain, and it's bad, and his health is bad enough he had to retire from the band. So I have a lot of musician friends, and I think after I can see a little better, I've talked about this before, that I'm going to start another channel that is just going to be some stuff about working in the music industry and working in stock car racing. So it's going to be what my late friend Frank O'Keefe, the original bass player of the Outlaws, used to call me, the rock and roll woman, because I had a photography business and I covered rock bands and race cars. He also called me heavy metal before I'd ever heard the term heavy metal before, except in Steppenwolf's Born to Be Wild, which is the first place I ever heard the term heavy metal. But anyway, um, yeah, I've got some pretty interesting rock and roll stories. Some of them are downright hilarious, and some of them I can't tell you because then they'd have to kill me. Uh, Henry Paul from the Outlaws once introduced me to somebody by telling them that I'm the person that knows where all the bodies are buried. So I don't want to become one of them yet. I'm trying to be pretty optimistic about this surgery compared to what I've been through in the past couple of years. Yeah. Oh wow, that sounds like a really good show, John. Back in 1975, I worked a little bit on a tour that the Outlaws were on. They didn't even have a recording contract at the time. They actually signed it while they were on the tour. And it was the Outlaws, Marshall Tucker, Charlie Daniels Band, and Leonard Skinnard. Uh, and I learned a tremendous amount about rock and roll photography and lighting. I can mix sound with the best of them, and I learned to mix sound from a guy named Rex Ray, who is the senior sound engineer at Claire International, which is the biggest concert sound company in the world. This guy actually mixed the original Live Aid, and he's mixed everybody's sound. He's awesome, but he taught me how to mix sound in the bars in Tampa, and because of that, he was the Outlaw sound guy. Because of what he taught me, I was able to get a job with the concert production group at the University of South Florida, and that's how I was able to work on all of these other things that I have done over the years. And here I am, almost 70 years old, and I'm still working in music with Question Mark and the Mysterians. And I actually, a couple weeks ago, uh, inspired by Ken Everham, who was in the stream. I don't know if he's still here or not, but I actually got one of my guitars out a couple weeks ago and started piddling around with it a little bit. I'm working on doing something with Question Mark when I get back up to Michigan. I might actually get to play on a real album. But yeah, Cynthia, doesn't that sound like an awesome show? My friend Tommy, he was huge fan of 38 Special. I knew a couple of those guys too. Since I grew up in Florida, I knew a lot of the what were called Southern rock uh, bands. The first time I saw the Allman Brothers, they weren't even the Allman Brothers. I forgot what they were, what the name of their band was. And then in 67, I think it was, or maybe 66, when they were the Almond Joys, I used to have this flyer and I gave it away to somebody that worked for the Outlaws. But I actually saw the Almond Joys open for the Outlaws at the Clearwater Civic Auditorium. And it was so funny because this flyer had like this couple dancing on it, like a sock hop looking thing. And it was, the Outlaws, blah, blah, blah. And then down on the bottom, somebody had taken a typewriter and typed in little tiny letters, also featuring the Almond Joys. Now, if I had not given that flyer away, and then subsequently it was stolen from the person that I gave it to, had I not given that away, can you imagine what that might be worth now? It would have to be worth quite a bit of money, but I would probably just take it down to Macon and donate it. Yeah, I actually knew that, John, that Dickie's first name was Forrest. And the only reason that I did know that was I knew all those people at that time. The Outlaws, before they signed their contract, were managed first by this friend of mine, Charlie Brusco at Southern Bay Productions in St. Pete, and then by Charlie and a gentleman named Alan Walden. Alan and Phil Walden owned Capricorn Records in Macon, but before they owned that, Alan was the manager of mostly black artists and big name black artists. He was connected with Little Richard. He was connected with Percy Sledge, but his biggest artist prior to booking the bands that recorded on Capricorn was that he was the manager of Otis Redding up until the day Otis died in a plane crash. I am still friends with Alan Walden to this day. And there's a place in Macon, still exists, called Grant's Lounge. Grant's Lounge has this thing, I call it the wall of shame. It just has hundreds and hundreds of photographs of all kinds of people that played there. And I walked in there on I think it was the 40th anniversary of Grant's. And I walked about 5 feet in and I just stopped and realized how many of the people on that wall I actually knew. But one of the things about the Almonds, I didn't particularly get along with Dickie Betts. And I knew his name was Forrest. And I used to call him Stump, like a tree stump. It probably wasn't very nice, and I'm sure he didn't like me very much either. But uh, yeah, I used to know a lot of musicians. I kind of got out of it when I got into working in racing. I kind of got out of the rock and roll scene. Talk about making a strange transition going from hippies to basically rednecks. Uh, and I still talk to some of my racing buddies periodically. If any of you happen to live in Florida, in the St. Petersburg area, and you want to see some pretty thrilling stuff, go over to St. Pete to Showtime Speedway this coming Saturday night. They're having a figure eight championship, and one of my former racing team buddies, uh, his name is Gordon Brown. He has a car in that show. He no longer drives. He has a driver, but he fabricates the cars. And I spent several years on the team with him. We went up to the World Figure Eight Championships in Riverhead, Long Island, a couple of years in a row. And Mudslut says, I had a friend named Forrest, and I wish I was witty enough to call him Stump. Well, I got to tell you, I stole that because back when I was in junior high, I had another friend that was in a band who were from Eustis, Florida, called the 13th Dimension. And there was a guy in that band named Forrest Knight. Well, Forrest was his middle name, but he went by Forrest. And oh, I had a terrible crush on Forrest. But one of his friends used to call him Branch and Stump and Log, anything related to a tree. So I kind of stole the stump thing, but yeah, it is funny. And if you ever meet anybody else named Forrest, you'll be able to use it. Uh, oh my goodness. So anyway, y'all are helping me stay in a good mood, and that's why I'm doing this stream tonight because I suffer from anxiety disorder, particularly when it comes to medical things. Because I went pretty much my whole life never being sick. I was one of those kids that didn't miss school for being sick or anything like that. And around 2006, all of a sudden, I started getting just one strange illness after another. I mean, crazy things. That was when I found out that my blood type, I have this antibody in my blood type that puts me in a group that only 9 to 10% of people in the world have. And I found that out because they gave me just a standard A negative blood, and it then almost killed me because it didn't have that antibody. So anyway, now I have 8 or 9 autoimmune disorders. We have no idea why. Um, my brother has a couple of them. My sister has none of them, except that she also has the anxiety disorder, which I know came from my dad's side of the family. But anyway, I get real freaked out about medical stuff. Uh, to the point where I keep immaculate records. I have boxes and boxes of medical records that my current doctor really appreciates that I do that. But I have this particular thing about my eyes. I'm not sure why, but the idea of somebody poking around in my eyes makes me crazy. So that's why I'm doing this stream tonight because I'm just trying to uh, get myself in a happy place. you know, I know this is a kind of a no brainer surgery. Everybody that I have talked to has gone to this surgeon says he is just like the best. As far as I know, mud swat, yes, it is, but it is not quite a standard cataract surgery because of how I did this was back when I had that aneurysm, and I've told this before, but I'm going to tell it again. Back when I had the pulmonary embolism, I fell forward, and I had my glasses on. It was like 3:30 in the morning. I just got up to get a drink of water, and there's my Deej. Hi, honey. So anyway, the cataract that I have is not the regular slow growing type of cataract. It's what they call a fast growing traumatic injury cataract. And what happened was when I fell forward, I smacked my glasses into my eye. So it's a little bit different, but yes, it is a laser surgery. They said, it should be done within 2 hours. Hey, Spudley, thank you for coming in. Yeah, I know you had some stuff lined up for today, Deej. Uh, so I appreciate you being here. Y'all, Deej has been like one of my rocks throughout all of this health stuff. She has been so super supportive, and we are really excited that I'm getting this eye work done so that when I get back up to Michigan, Deej and I got some metal detecting to do. Yes, we do. We are gonna find all the great hidden treasures of the Great Lakes and beyond. Yeah, we might find some rocks too. Indeed, I love rock hunting. When I was a little kid, I had a rock collection, and so I see so many things I want to go do with Deej when I get back to Michigan. Um, yeah, John Hopkins, that'd be a good place to get your eye surgery done for sure. Yeah, my friend that I was talking about a little earlier that I raced with, Gordon Brown, he wore the big fat Coke bottle glasses, and then he went and got the surgery, and now he doesn't wear glasses at all. He, I mean, he really couldn't see. He got into an accident on the racetrack one time. I mean, a bad one because he raced figure eights, and he broadsided this guy. And when it happened, his glasses came off. And he was like hunched over in the car. He was just feeling around looking for his glasses. Um, and the paramedics thought he was like dead or something because all they could see was just him laid over the thing, and they run up to the car and they're like, Gordy, Gordy, are you okay? Are you okay? And he's like, I'm fine. I'm just looking for my effing glasses. Which he found, and then he saw how bad his car was wrecked, and we just went and put it all back together. Yep, you're right, Deej. Oh yeah, look out, Michigan. Susie Q's coming soon. Yeah, I really miss Michigan. And it's funny, I did not have my metal detector or anything when I lived in Michigan, but I wanted one because I owned my little place, and I really wanted to detect that piece of property, and I never got to. And after I got my detector and I started my YouTube channel, I just had this tremendous number of people from Michigan that just migrated to my channel, and it really locked in for me that I really, really miss Michigan. The health care I had was far superior to what I have here, and that is one of the motivating primary reasons that I am going back there. Is like every other state, all states have their good points and their not so good points, but I had some fine health care up there, and access to it where I don't really have access to good medical care here, and I never will unless I um, move to another town where I don't know anybody in another part of this state. So that's not what I want to do. I never intended to be in Virginia this long. I came here to distribute some family items to family members who no longer are around me anymore. And I had that pulmonary embolism 3 days before I was supposed to pick up a motorhome and move back to Michigan. And now I'm thinking that it was divine intervention that I am not living in a motorhome in the middle of the gosh awful winter that Michigan is getting pummeled with this year. My friend Q told me he's lived there pretty much his whole life. He said he doesn't remember ever seeing this much snow on his farm. So yeah, I know. I told Mikey earlier, Mudslot, that sounded good. I was about to ask him if he was could ship me some meatloaf and mashed potatoes. But anyway, yeah, I am going to try here in a little bit to finish up the rest of these packages. One of my friends sent me some money so that I could try and get them all out. I gave away way too many things, and it has cost me a ton of money to ship them all. And I hope everybody's getting their packages. Um, if you haven't gotten yours yet, I'm still working on them. Oh yeah, I've got a couple people. Um, no, I think I got package total now, and I got um, Mark Thomas. For some reason I couldn't find their addresses. Um, so I think I've got everybody's addresses now. We'll be getting that stuff out there. Thank you, Olin. I appreciate it. Mark EQ. Speaking of Mark Thomas, indeed, indeed. There he bees. I don't know if your package went out this morning or if it's in the front of the box to go out in the next batch. But um, yeah, package. I did get yours. I think it went out this morning, as a matter of fact, with your hat in it. And I was thinking, boy, that's a nice hat. Oh, wait a minute. I already have one of those. Put that back in package totals bag. Yeah, all of those simplex things came all the way from Istanbul, Turkey, from the simplex factory. Um, James, yours is like I can see it from here, so it's like up in it's worked its way to the front of the box now. Yeah, well, since my friend sent me some money, then now I can finish them up. I've been having to kind of do them in batches because when you're on a needs to be fixed income, you got to pay for your groceries and your medication and that kind of stuff. And then whatever's left over, you get to play with. So, but yeah, one of my friends, she knows I struggle with Valentine's Day because a couple of years back, I was supposed to go visit a friend of mine for Valentine's weekend, and 2 days before Valentine's Day, he had a stroke from which he never recovered. And it was really, really rough for me. So my friend knows that, and I'm sure that part of why she sent me that money was to help keep me busy and also to pay my outrageous uh, electric bill. I don't know what it is here, but boy, whew, high electric bills. I've been trying not to run the heat, but when it's got snow on the ground and you just got to do it. You just got to do it. Fortunately, most of our snow melted off today, so uh, when the driver comes to take me tomorrow, the roads will be clear. I'm not opening it. I'm just going to hand it to my son. Oh, okay. That's cute. Um, I didn't know you were going to do that. That's very nice. Yeah, I've got another one. I've got to find something special to put in. We were playing cats and dogs, which is a game we play on my channel periodically. And William Noel had his little 10-year-old daughter watching with him, and we had 3 or 4 picks where nobody won and nobody won, and so he let his daughter choose cat or dog, and she chose dog, and he won. So I'm going to put a little extra special something in there for his daughter, since she was the one that it kept telling him to pick the dog. So I have a couple packages that are set off to the side because I have to add little extras to them, but most of them have gone out now. I see my friend Dawn. Hi, Dawn. How are you? Dawn's a transplanted Virginian. She had her surgery done by the same doctor that's doing mine tomorrow. Uh, yeah, Dawn, I found out that my friend that lives in Hillsville, that I went to high school with down in Florida, he also had the same doctor, and he said the same thing you did, that, easy peasy, the guy's the best. So I'm I'm taking everybody's word for it, trying to you know, I don't think that's a real person there. I'm sure it is not. Of course, we had to have a bot. If I didn't get a bot, it wouldn't be It's Susie Q96. Uh, I always get them. My very first live stream, they took me offline 3 times in one stream. They reported me and said there was a nudity, which we were all really laughing about that. Like, this almost 70-year-old lady's going to be showing anything naked. The only thing I was showing on there was some naked metal detected items. But yeah, they by the third time they knocked me offline, I was in tears. And I didn't have any mods. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. It was just, yeah, that was the day I got my first 2 mods. Uh, Both of them now have their own channels, and so they're not really doing much modding for me, but that's okay. They taught me the ropes, and that was Cherie Ward and Handy Andy 73.6. Especially Andy. Without Andy, I wouldn't have a channel of any kind. But yeah, I don't know why, but bots like to come and mess with me. Hey, that's a good idea, Dawn. I never thought to do that. When I had my surgery, I asked who did all the doctors in the area. There you go. If the doctors will let you work on them, then they're probably pretty reliable. Oh my goodness, Deej. Yeah, I know. Q told me the same thing, Deej, and they um, switched over a few years ago, because they have that big farm and they have an unlimited source, pretty much, of wood to burn. So they put in a wood burning system now. But we were talking about this morning that if they had the old stuff that they had when I was living in my motorhome out on his farm, which isn't very far from you, maybe 20 miles, um, that I wouldn't be able to afford to keep it warm in there because it would just be outrageous. So, yeah, I remember that, Mikey. she didn't have any mods, and there was like, I'm gonna say 8 or 9 trolls just swarmed on her, and she was just like, she was like me. She didn't know what to do. You learn it, but they they just got nothing better to do with their time but be idiots. Alrighty, well, I think I'm gonna wrap this little thing up. I appreciate all the good laughs and the prayers and whack-a-bye is a fun game. Yeah, really. Why did I get the picture in my head of the game that had like the groundhogs or whatever it was, and the hammer that you would try to knock them back down in the hole? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I thought about that too, Deej, but I don't know what I'm how I'm going to do things when I get back going again. Uh I kind of hate to do that because then people can't come in and see if they like your stuff. So I'm thinking maybe doing most of them that way, and then doing maybe one a month that's open to everybody. I don't know yet. It's a damn shame that any content creators have to go through that. It's just whack-a-mole. That's it, James. Thank you. I could not think of the name of that game, but I could see it in my head. All right. Well, I have taken my medication. I do need to grab a little something to eat and set my alarms, make sure I have all my paperwork organized. Uh, yeah, my mods are pretty good at getting right on these idiots. During the 12 days of Christmas, we had a bunch of them. We had so many, like 10, 15 a stream every night for 13 nights. And I'll tell you what, my mods were right on it. I can't thank them enough because it's, especially since I can't see very well, and I was trying to do the giveaways and trying to show the coins, and then trying to focus on those idiots coming in. My mods really were my eyes throughout that. I truly don't know how I made it through all those streams in a row. I did have to cancel one, and I just did a double one the next night. But well, tomorrow's when I have my surgery, but I will. I'm not sure what's going to be happening tomorrow. I will tell you, I have the best niece on the planet. Um, they, my niece lives 3.5 hours north of where I'm having my surgery, and I live about 3 hours south of it. So it's kind of, you know, in the middle. And my niece, who just got back from Chicago to where she went to see her son graduate from the Naval Training Center boot camp. And she is going to get up early tomorrow morning. Her husband is staying home from his job to work from home, and she is going to drive the 3.5 hours down to where I'm having my surgery done so that I will have a family member with me, because I'm actually being driven by a volunteer from the Quaker church. This guy drives me to a lot of my appointments, and but I knew I would feel better if I had a family member there with me, because she knows my health issues and she knows how to get a hold of my doctors and that sort of thing. So I have like the best niece in the world. She is just absolutely awesome. And so I will have someone from my family there, and hopefully she can keep me from having an anxiety attack. Um, but anyway, I'm gonna run, folks. I'm not sure who is on tonight, but go sign up on somebody's channel you haven't been on before. Give them some support. I was hoping to be back up to 1,000 by my birthday, but that's not gonna happen because my birthday is March 3rd. So I don't think I can get 300 people by then. But anyway, go out there and support somebody. And I thank all of you for coming and supporting me. People are just awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, you can rate Jeff Silversmith. I used to be a regular on his channel, and then he kind of had a major setback, and he's working his way back up. So, absolutely, go visit Jeff. If you're more into detecting, I'm sure there's somebody out there streaming some metal detecting stuff. Let me look real quick. Let me see who's on right now. Jeff Silversmith is on. Big T is on. Um, those are the only ones I'm seeing right at the moment, but it's hard for me. I'm doing this on my phone. So, anyway, all right. Thank you, Deej. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to run. Yeah, go see Jeff Silversmith. He's only got 3 people over there right now. He needs some help. Y'all go over and see him. And keep me in your prayers. Keep my friend Dave Muse in your prayers, and my friend Monty Yoho. And hopefully, when I get home within a few days, I will actually be able to see. That will be so exciting. So, thank y'all. God bless you. Happy Valentine's Day. Uh, Hug your loved ones, because you never know what's going to happen from one day to the next. We all need to be there for each other. Good night, everybody. See you soon.